Hi, everybody. Are you ready for another story time? Well, I have a special friend here today who's going to tell the story of how she met Jesus. So stay tuned to be continued.
Good morning. I am Kris Peterson, and I met Rebecca 33 years ago. And I met her because I was referred to go to see her husband at his physical therapy office. And I was having severe problems with my neck and my knee, and went in, and Michael started working on me. And I fell in love with Rebecca. There was something about her that was different. She was magnetic. She had a joy, and she was so much fun, and she was just beautiful. There was something about her that I wanted to be like her. So fast forward, Michael had worked on my knee and my neck. I was getting better. Rebecca and I developed a friendship, and one day she invited me to lunch. Apparently, she had seen something in me that she needed to talk to me about. So we went to lunch, and that day she told me about Jesus. She first asked me where I was spiritually. And of course, I said I didn't know. And she also asked me if I were to die today, would I be sure that I was going to heaven? And I had no idea. I didn't think anybody could be sure. When I met Rebecca, I was really broken on the inside, much more so than on the outside. I had lived a life of not knowing God, first of all, but I was filled with fear and shame and pain from my past. And I was looking for hope, and I could find no hope. I had everything the world had to offer. I had a husband, a beautiful home, children. I was a teacher, but my life was spiraling down, and I didn't know how to fix it. I started looking for God probably 3 months before I met Rebecca, and everywhere I went, the doors closed. Somebody told me to go to church, and I did, and I couldn't find God there. Somebody else told me something else. Look within. And so by the time the week before I went to see Michael, I had fallen to my floor in my bedroom and was weeping. I was considering taking my life. And I was so broken and had spiraled into a deep depression. That day, I was sobbing on the floor, and I actually cried out to God, if you are real, if you are there, can you please help me? I don't want to die. And I sobbed, and I started to feel a sense of peace in my heart. So I got up and went about my week. But that week, I was referred to go see Michael. And lo and behold, Rebecca was working in the office for the first time. She was just filling in for somebody as a temp. And so here we are at lunch, and she's sharing everything about God. I didn't even know there was a God. I knew nothing. I hadn't any background in my family, in my life. I would call myself an agnostic, even though I didn't know what that meant. But anyway, she proceeded to tell me about the God who had created me, who loves me, who wanted to have a personal relationship with me. And the more I heard, the more I wanted. We were sitting at the table having lunch, and I was just tears were pouring out my eyes. And she told me about Jesus and all he had to offer. And she told me about the simple prayer that I had to pray. And so we went out to the car, and she held my hands, and she led me through the sinner's prayer. And that day, my whole life changed. It was December 20th, 1989, 1:00 in the afternoon. I remember every bit of it. And so I'm so thankful to God that he sent Rebecca into my life. And since that day, I've only wanted to tell others the good news of the gospel. I have followed in the footsteps of Rebecca, just her mentoring and watching her, and just in my heart, I know God's given me that gift of evangelism also. And I can't wait to share my stories, as Rebecca is, for my family and friends. Update you on what has been happening the past 33 years. Since I become a Christian, I had to grow and learn grow in my faith and learn and be mentored and prayed for. I experienced healing, and step by step, my life has changed. And I started sharing with others right away what I knew. I started serving in my church. Little by little, I grew in the different positions that I served in. I taught Bible studies. I now am mentoring women. I have for quite a while now. And I've spoken many, many times at retreats and actually in churches and different ministries, sharing the gospel, the good news, and have seen many people come to the Lord. Rebecca and I started a ministry called Fit for Eternity, and she probably will tell you about that in the future, but we saw 50 women and one man come to the Lord through Fit for Eternity, where we partnered in that, and that was fabulous. 5 years after I came to the Lord, my husband came to the Lord, and our marriage is wonderful. We've been married 49 years, and we just love the Lord together, and we serve together, and I still can't get enough. I need to grow and learn and share, and I just want to exhaust myself for the Lord because of that one lunch we had that one day.
So now you know the story of Kris and what the Lord has done in her life. I want to just say also, to add to that story, is that we both were personal trainers, and I'm in her house right now. And this is the very first place that we held a Fit for Eternity retreat in her backyard in La Jolla. And so it's fun to be here now and fast forward all these years later and see what God is doing in both of our lives. So. Until next time, to be